Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. All those that are invisible are filled by Brahman. All those that are visible are also fully permeated by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Brahman is still full, although the whole universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading the Śvetāśvatara Upanishad, and we have finished the 4th chapter. Very wonderful verses that is talked about the glory of the Atman and the beautiful description of how he can be found in the form and the formless, in the roop, in the diverse objects of the universe. So today we will be entering into the chapter 5, and the chapter 5 the Upanishad is always talking about the same principle of the truth of oneness of the divine, and always leading us from this changeable, impermanent to the unchangeable absolute. So here we start with the first verse, which says, Dve akṣare brahma pare, de akṣare brahma pare, tu anante vidya vidye, tu anante vidya vidye, nihite yatra gudhe, nihite yatra gudhe, ksharang tu avidya, ksharang tu avridya, amritang tu vidya, tang tu vidya, vidya vidye, vidya vidye, īśate, juṣṭu, so annaha, naha. So the akṣare brahma pare, dvanante, avidya or vidya. Avidya to ksharam, which is avidya, ignorance, that is kshara. Kshara means it is mortal, it is changing, it is subject to destruction. And akṣare, akṣare brahma pare. What is akṣar? Akṣar, the imperishable one, that is anante, it is infinite, and it is akṣaram, is verily immortal. So the akṣare in the imperishable, in the infinite, what is gudhe brahma pare, in this hidden, in the hidden supreme Brahman, and in him resides both vidya and avidya. So, two things. One point is important. The vidya, avidya, ksharang to avidya. Whatever we see imperishable, that is called avidya, ignorance. And that which is akṣare, which does not get lost or not being perishable, imperishable, that is called akṣara, and that is ananta. And ananta, it is akṣare, it is immortal, in that immortal, in the imperishable, in that infinite, is hidden. Both vidya and avidya is hidden. That means, we normally, dualistic religion will say that vidya and God is there, Satan is there. And two are fighting things. Always God what wants to do, God, the Satan will create trouble for that. That is the power of the Satan. But in Vedanta there is no Satan. It is avidya and vidya. Avidya leads to delusion, confusion, duality, ego, selfishness, all these things in their duality. And these are all perishable. Nothing is permanent. No one is ever that dull person, not that person who is filled with ego, will remain the same. It is changing. And akṣara is that which is imperishable, that is Brahman. But akṣara, in him both are there. That's how even śocati, śoctiman, that philosophy of Tantra is coming here. It is in Brahman there are both. Brahma and śocati. When Brahman, it is the absolute akṣara, imperishable. And when it manifests itself, its power. And its power manifested in both ways. In the avarana and vṛkṣe, that's a different idea. But whatever is changing, it is not Satan. Another party is not there. It is all coming from the same reality. So this is the beautiful idea of Vedanta, that there only one is the reality, and in it is the akṣara bhav and akṣara bhav. Panchadash Swadhyaya chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, tasmat saram atito aham akṣarad upicha uttama. So he is saying, I, the Krishna who is talking, don't think I am a man or a woman, or a god or goddess. Tasmat saram atito aham. I am aham atito of akṣara. Akṣara means which is imperishable, which is subject to destruction, subject to breaking and the perishable nature. And akṣaram, which does not. So, akṣaram tasmat aham atito aham. So, akṣaram atito aham akṣarad upicha uttama. You are seeing akṣara, which is not imperishable, that concept. Meaning why? When you have the idea of it is perishable, you must have the idea of imperishable. That you live in the idea also. This is idea, on the mental level. In a pure state of mind, you can see the two aspects. One akṣara, which is changing. Oh, there is something which does not. That means even you say it is akṣara, you have the idea of the akṣara. You have the idea of imperishable, you carry the idea of perishable. Ramakrishna says, if you have the idea of one, you have the idea of two. So two, go beyond one and two. There is neither one, neither two. Neither akṣara, neither akṣara. That's why Bhagavad Gita says, tasmat saram atito aham. Therefore I am beyond akṣara, perishable aspect. Akṣarad upicha uttama. I am superior, higher than that of akṣara, imperishable. So that is his nature, means that is the Brahman nature. Where the concept of duality, akṣara and akṣara, even that vanishes. First of all, this is like in spiritual journey, we'll have to start with akṣara, akṣara idea. Look at the world, everything is changing, everything is moving, everything is subject to destruction, growth, development, 6 changes. Birth, growth, development, then youth, then decay, and then old age, and death. Asti jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshyate, mrityu. This is the perishable nature. And don't get stuck into that. That is the first step. That's why I said, oh, there is some akṣara. Akṣara is who? Brahma is akṣara. Brahman, even Brahma, considered Brahma, the creator, he is akṣara, he does not die. He goes to sleep, everything goes to sleep. So, first idea of spiritual journey starts with, that's everything is akṣara, means everything is changing, everything is perishable. There is something imperishable. Look at that. And then, after reaching there, you say, no. You are saying it is akṣara, means you have the idea of perishable nature. That's why in comparison to that word, you are using the word imperishable. Imperishable word is coming because of the perishable idea. Who is beyond perishable and imperishable idea, there is no duality and they cannot say what is what. So that's why it is called Brahman. It cannot be said. That's why it is said, it is manovacha, agocharam, beyond. Because if you say anything about that, that's why again and again the topic comes. What is Brahman like? The two sons were sent to the Guru's house. It's called Guru Kula. And after getting training from the Gurus, these two children, two young men has come back from Guru's house. And then father, he is a Brahmangani, but he didn't teach his own children because his own children don't like father. They say, you don't know anything. Even he is a Brahmangani, but they don't get any recognition to their children. Says high class person, high position person whose presence makes other awe, but it's to his children and his wife, just go, do this. So there is no such fear or so two boys came back, and the father then called, my child, why my young sons, what did you learn from your Guru? So one son started describing Brahman, Atman, as we are talking now. It is superimposition, it is perishable, it is imperishable, it is this, that, all this philosophical discussion. And he is charmed with this intellectual understanding. Then Guru said, father called the other son, hey, what do you talk about? What do you think about Brahman and Atman? What did you learn from your Guru? He just remained silent and continued silent and don't open the mouth. Then he said, he has understood. Because when you understand, you cannot say anything. When we don't understand, we talk too much. Top scientists who are know so much of everything you got, talk to them, they are very cautious what they are talking. We are read 2 pages by Google search and this and I can give a big talk about that because fools rush in where the angels fear to tread. So the knowledge, when it comes, your speech becomes silent. And you see, look at all the knowledgeable people, they speak very carefully what they say and meticulously because they are going to the final level of understanding. Now about Brahman, which cannot be expressed, so that is all the scripture, their speech becomes speechless, all the reactions stop there. So it cannot. So that is the way this father recognized. He is developed, he is intellectually developed so much to understand what is Vedanta. As we are reading the book, we understand intellectually. But that is not, it is beyond that. So that in that akṣara, in that absolute Brahman, kṣara idea and akṣara idea, both are there. In the idea of Brahman, the Shakti, by the Shakti, is a god, goddesses are all coming. And also the much more grosser materials of the world which is changing, that also comes in the range. So anyhow, avidya to ksharam, ignorance, lead to the perishable. As much we are ignorant, we love the perishable object, we hold that they are the truth, we want to spend our days and night in the perishable object. That's why in the world. An imperishable world, those who really, the wisdom leads to the immortality. So you want to move towards immortality, then you go towards learning about the truth, meditating, contemplating on that, sravana, manana, nididhasana. So done this way, so that is leading to the immortality. Entirely different from these two, mortal idea and immortal idea, is he, the imperishable and infinite, secret, supreme Brahman, in whom exists wisdom as well as ignorance. Both the duality, all contradictions meet together. In Brahman, Swamiji said, in Brahman, all the apparent contradictions, what we are now facing, it will all collapse and merge into that absolute oneness. There will be, all doubts will be gone. That's why it says, Brahma Jnana leads us to make us doubt-free. Chid vidyante hridaya granthi. Chiddante hridaya granthi vidyante sarva samāne. It cuts asunder all your doubts and all the knots tied with ignorance, and this knot is cut. So you are free. Vidyante hridaya granthi. Chiddante sarva samāne. Tasmin drishti. When tasmin drishti tar paravare. Tasmin, seeing that which is paro and avaro, which is that supreme and these two together mixed. That means in him is this paro and avaro. Everything comes from him, and it is that reality. It is he, she, it. These are language. We always get confused in that. And īśate. Īśate, just to so unknown. And who governs them both, he is something separate. The govern, so ignorance leads to imperishable, wisdom leads to immortality. Entirely different from this is he who is the imperishable, infinite, the secret of all secret, supreme Brahman, and in whom that supreme Brahman exists wisdom as well as ignorance. That's why this Makali idea, destruction, protection, two totally, apparently different idea, but they all merge into one. That one side destruction, how can the one person destructs at the same time loves us? So this is the point, destructing or destroying our ignorance, destroying our foolishness, and giving wisdom and knowledge. And he governs them both. Note says, these means ignorance and wisdom. Brahman is said to be different from them because both ignorance and wisdom are modifications of the mind. So long is our mind, that long will be this duality. There you can say it is ignorance, it is wisdom, it is good, it is bad, it is knowledge, it is ignorance. No? He is not therefore of their form, but their witness. So this third party who are talking about Brahman, it is the witness of both imperishable and imperishable nature. Again, it is in him that they both subsist, and he actually governs them. All this entire cosmos is controlled by that cosmic consciousness. Shankara says, the 5th chapter is begin with the word devā akṣare, with a view to starting fresh matters that remain to be dealt in the 4th chapter. He who is immutable, infinite, and higher than Brahma, understand here, very important point, Brahma. Now diacritical mark people are getting out, creating more trouble. Brahma and Brahma, they don't understand, and we are not so much intelligent. Many people will make a mistake here, Brahma. But the Brahma, the creator God. So that's why he who is immutable, who is immutable? Who have created this universe. That is the source from which this all creation came. So perishable is this creation, imperishable is who created. No? One artist may create thousands of paintings. Artist is, in that sense, staying imperishable as it is the imperishable entity. And production which is coming, that is perishable because it is created, it is rejected, it is thrown away. But he governs both. Brahma, the creator and the creation, both are controlled by Brahma. So this is the only difference. Brahma, first manifestation Brahma, and Brahma is the imperishable, and creation is perishable. But both are embedded into Brahma, Brahman. So Brahman is the source of all of them, both perishable and imperishable nature. So that idea. He who is immortal, immutable, infinite, and higher than Brahma, and in whom lie hidden two. What are the two? Knowledge and ignorance. And who controls knowledge and ignorance is different from them. He who controls that, automatically he will be different. You are controlling the car, you are not the car. You are different from the car. So, Brahman is different from them. Ignorance is mutable, but knowledge is verity immutable. Akṣara means in which immutable, Brahma para pare, akṣare Brahma pare. Akṣara means in immutable, Brahmaya Brahma pare, that is higher than the Brahma, that is Hiranyagarbha, or that is the Supreme Brahman, Anante, the infinite, not limited by space-time and objects, are the devā, the two, vidya, avidya, knowledge and ignorance. Jatra, in which the two, that means the knowledge and ignorance, jatra, in this knowledge and ignorance, nihite gudhe, lie hidden, latent, they lie hidden in that Brahman. The text points out, Shankara says, the text points out knowledge and ignorance, distinctly avidya and ignorance, the cause of mutation, the cause of transmigration. That is ksharam, it is mutable, that's why it is mutable. Two, but vidya, the knowledge, capital knowledge, the cause of liberation. That's why we study. We are studying to get out of our ignorance. So it is the cause of liberation. Is amritam, immutable. But he who, on the other hand, īśate, rules and controls vidya, the knowledge and ignorance, he is anya, different from them, because he is their witness. That means that's why we say, ultimately grace, we say, why? From ignorance you go to the light knowledge. But as much you try, unless you go beyond knowledge, how will you go beyond knowledge? Swami Vivekananda says, as far as you move in the path of analysis, that is the same duality of world and worldliness. Jatadur, jao buddhi rathe koriyarhon. You take your chariot as buddhi, intelligence, no? And you go, so far you go. You may reach the highest peak. But your buddhi is still there. This is the samsara. This is the perishable world you are roaming. You may think you are imperishable. You are reaching imperishable. But it is not imperishable. It is a relative perishable, imperishable. You know, the example is given as bacteria. Bacteria live how many days? How many days? Huh? You doctors tell us. Some microbacteria, their life is how many days?
A few hours.
Hours, no? Acha. So, now you come. And the hours, they are perishable. Bacteria are born and dead, no? He dies, his father will die, his grandfather will die, his grandfather will die, and this 20 generations, 100 generations, even 1,000 generations, the bacteria will die. But I will remain in my body, bacteria. I am in comparison to the bacterial life, my life is imperishable life. Understand? It is the relative. Why they are using the terminology? You have to understand from that point. From our perspective, it is, I am only 100 years old. But 100 years old, if you look at this cell, or better to bacteria is better because they live shorter time.
And if the body inside body the bacteria should have the viṣve concept.
Yeah, but that is a viṣve, but my point is perishable nature and imperishable nature. We are seeing God as imperishable, but God is not imperishable. Brahman is imperishable, real imperishable. Again, God is the first manifestation of Brahman. Brahma is the first manifestation of Brahman. So that when you are manifestation, it is imperishable, not the absolute sense imperishable. In comparison to us, we live 100 years. And Brahma's one day is how much? 4,032,000. How many diseases? 4,032,000 or something years of our life is one day for him. Now calculate. Understand? 4,032,000 times 24, times 60. It is one day. Multiply by 365, 1 year, multiply by, that Brahma lives for 100 years. Then how many times we are born and dead, million times we are already done. He is the imperishable, we are all perishable. Jiva is perishable and the Creator God is imperishable. But where they come from all this? It all comes from Brahman. The Brahman is the absolute truth in whom these two concepts are entered, and he is the controller of everything, and he is the transcendental reality between this perishable and imperishable idea. There is a main thing to understand from this verse.
The word in Brahman is īśate, then it's Gajatva.
Right, that Brahman does not, it is Brahma.
So īśate is from Brahma.
When you say control, that's ego necessary. And there is a place of duality, trace of duality. Without you cannot control anything. The word control comes from, one is controlling person, another is controlled, another is a mechanism to control. Triputi. Without three, control what does not come? How can you control? I am being controlled, but someone is there to control me. And he does it by some official order or dictating something. So there is some means should be there. And so triputi, three things necessary for action, any action. So control is an action.
But the sanyaha is vyapito nanyaha. So it's anya, but it's also nanya because vyapito.
Yeah, both. In the when it is very difficult for us to comprehend. That's why the Upanishad is helping us, first giving this idea of duality and pointing out to that absolute, which is the real purpose and real goal of our life to reach, and that is our real nature. Swami Sarvadevananda Maharaj, I'll read him what he talk about. Parabrahman, akṣare Brahman is higher than Hiranyagarbha. Very fast. Hiranyagarbha means Creator God, Brahma. Knowledge and ignorance are both hidden in the Parabrahman. Both knowledge and ignorance, or perishable and imperishable ideas, are all in Brahman. Ignorance is the cause of birth and death, but knowledge leads to immortality. He who controls ignorance and knowledge is separate from both of them. That is, Brahman, pure and without any attributes, is the Supreme. The word ananta means without end. If something is without end, then it is also without beginning. If you say something is endless, you have to understand there is no beginning. That's why you say end. End is this side, but where it started. If you say no end, then you cannot find the beginning. That's why it is said that if something is without end, then it is also without beginning. Beginning and end are conditions that apply to objects, but they cannot apply that cannot apply in the case of Brahman. Ananta also means here that Brahman is not conditioned by time or space, ananta. Ananta means there is no end. End of what? There is no timeless entity and spaceless. If something has a beginning or an end, that means it begins and ends at certain point of time, and it occupies some particular space. Anything happens in this creation, then it should be at a particular space and a particular time. Earth was not here, but Earth came out at a particular time when a big sun came and all this theory, and it was split, and then from the sun, so all the planets are rotating, etc. So there is a time. In the infinite space of time, mahakala, there is a time concept, and in that time, this incident happened. And when you say time, you have a concept of space. A modern language, old language was Shankara's, what he has explained, but it is using the same analogy to make it understand that it's imperishable nature. If something has a beginning or an end, that means it begins and ends at a certain point in time, and it occupies some particular space. But you cannot say that Brahman begins at a certain point of time or at a certain place. The word ananta seems very simple, but it conveys much meaning. Ananta, no anta. We usually consider knowledge to be very important. If someone is knowledgeable, we praise him and honor him. And if a person is ignorant, we pity him. But Brahman is beyond both knowledge and ignorance. It sounds rather paradoxical. How can Brahman be beyond both? We could understand if it was said that Brahman is beyond ignorance, that we normally say, Brahman is beyond ignorance. But how can we say how Brahman is beyond knowledge also? That's the question. The Upanishad is saying that these are terms we use on a relative plane. That's the point. I give the example. In this relative plane of ours, we are immortal being to the bacteria. But we are thinking we are bacteria in comparison to the God's life, Indra's life, Varuna's life, and all, say, Brahma's life, no? So we are relative. So this consideration is always relative, because we live in the relative plane, so we want to understand in relative level. The Upanishad is saying that these are terms we use on the relative plane. When we think of knowledge, we at once think of it as being something different from ignorance. When we think of knowledge, naturally our mind goes, what? It is beyond ignorance. Knowledge is opposite is ignorance. When you say knowledge, then you see it is opposite of ignorance. And you say ignorance, it is opposite of knowledge. This confusion remains. So when you think of knowledge, we at once think of it as being something different from ignorance. Ramakrishna used to say, he who has knowledge also has ignorance. One should use the thorn of knowledge to remove the thorn of ignorance and throw away both. That is the point. Ramakrishna's example is very simple. If a thorn pricks in your feet, at your feet, what do? You collect another thorn, and then try to pull it out. And when you pull out, then what do? You preserve it, then you throw away both. Purpose is done. So knowledge, to gain knowledge, to remove our ignorance, we do analyze, we do sravana, listen, we do contemplate, we do dive deep into that more deeper contemplation, no? So we do that, aham brahmasmi, why am I, what is this, who am I? We explore that. That exploration is the path of knowledge. But path of knowledge, not the knowledge itself. Path of knowledge and knowledge are not same. I am going to San Diego, and the path is there. If I am on the path, I am not in San Diego. So I am ignorant, but I am moving towards knowledge, But that path is called the path of knowledge. So, therefore, until and unless this path ends in the target, in the goal, then duality remains. One should use the thorn of knowledge to remove the thorn of ignorance, and then throw away. One then attains direct experience of God. That is the point. When total jnana jnaner par, Brahma jnana jnaner par, Brahman is beyond jnana, or jnanta, of course it is beyond ignorance, but it is beyond knowledge also. So-called knowledge, intellectual knowledge, we understand. That's why Sri Ramakrishna came in this age to prove this truth. Jnana jnaner, because as trained by the Western civilization and culture, that young boys of India, they used to think that they have to read books. That's why he came to Dakshineshwar and he was asking, does he read books? And that the lady who was the serving lady said, oh Baba, my child, everything in his mouth, study. What? I do not know. He has never read a book. Ramakrishna never read a book. Are Upanishad is that what is coming out now we can see it is all Upanishad. How it happens? Because he attained that knowledge through the following the path of knowledge, he attained to that goal where this truth is revealing, and when it is manifest through the body and mind, then it becomes Upanishad. So sometimes gospel is called the fifth Veda. Veda is an eternal truth. So this is the eternal truth and how it appears. And there is no lack of knowledge. They say that in the earlier days in India there is a style of selling rice by weighing in a scale, hand scale. And they used to say Rame Ram, Rame Ram, Rame Ram, and give one 5 pound or 10 pound, 2 times 10. That's why they remember how many times this rice you have put on the other side. Rame Ram, Rame Ram, Rame Dui. He is taking the Lord's name. That's a unique India. They are actually counting how many times how many pounds of rice I have put on the other side. To forget that, they are saying, they could have said, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. No. Rame Ram, Rame Ram, Rame Dui, Rame Dui, Rame Tin, Rame Tin, Rame Char. So Ram, 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 Ram. And they are repeating the Lord's name, also selling the rice. Anyhow, that is so. When it is exhausted, Ramakrishna said, there is another man standing with a total bag full of rice, pour into it to supply. Constant supply is coming from behind. So when one attains knowledge, the constant supply of knowledge happens. When Swami Vivekananda in this country, getting exhausted, speaking day and night all the time, and what to say tomorrow? It's really very serious thing. We feel much more scared when we go to any place and stay for a few days, and they say every day you will have evening discourse. And one discourse is over. One day, best, good. Second day, you say something. Third day, fourth day, the fifth day. So much difficulty unless.
Swamiji's brother wrote that when he was in Moranagor Mott itself, at the very beginning, with the brother disciple and lay devotees, he would speak and so spontaneously on Bengali literature, comparing with Sanskrit and all these things. Every day he is talking about different topic, and every topic was something to listen.
For us.
He said that I regret that I didn't write them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He had that thing from the very beginning.
No, that's it, because you have the supply, inner supply. That is my point. We have not that supply because we have not. He has the direct supply, so the supply source of supply is always coming. No, you exhaust on one side, the supply line. See, electricity is here. It never stops because supply line is there. It is connected there. We call power failure when the light is there but not here. That means this connection is not there. For us, connection is missing. But for him, connection is given so that is all lighted all the time. Still, he used to feel exhausted. And in the night time, Ramakrishna used to come and dictate him, tell this. And the host used to ask Swami, who you are talking with whole night? Sri Ramakrishna will appear and tell him what to say next day. That is called the supply line, inexhaustible supply line. And that never gets ended any time. Ananta seems, so we usually consider knowledge to be very important. If someone is knowledgeable, we praise him and honor him, and if a person is ignorant, we pity him. Oh, he is an ignorant person. No? More in India. Oh, he is a labor class person. Oh, he is a, what you call, scheduled caste. Oh, he is, all depends on how many books one has read. That's good. Intellectualism is very important because it is much higher than ignorantly following something. But that is nothing. That's why Shankaracharya hated it so much in a strong word. Bhagvaikari, Shabdajhari, Shastra Bhakkhānukausalam, Tadvad Bhuktaye, Natu Muktaye. Bhagvaikari, you can speak very eloquently. Vaikari, Bhak. Bhagvaikari, Shabdajhari, your vocabulary, wording, so perfect. Bhagvaikari, Shabdajhari. Shastra Bhakkhānukausalam, explaining the scriptures in a very powerful way and very easy way that people say, clap, hand. But this is for your intellectual enjoyment. Tadvad bhukta, it is for your fun, your enjoyment. You like intellectual enjoyment. Someone likes eating good food, that is the physical enjoyment. Someone likes to see through the eyes beautiful things, that is enjoyment through the eyes. You are enjoying in your intellectual enjoyment. But not to muktai. Shankaracharya says it is not leading you to mukti. That's why you have to, that is a difficult area. All the scholars fight there. There are so many pandits in India. And whatever Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna didn't read anything. And the pandits are also talking. But Ramakrishna said they are like a vultures. Meaning they soar very high. Vultures, they soar very high. But their eyes are in the very dead bodies where something to eat. That means mind is not lifted to this chakras, up chakras. It goes to the other things, mundane things. So that is the point, that intellectual knowledge is not to be discarded. It is very important for us, ordinary people like us. Otherwise, much confusion about spirituality. It creates so much disturbance in the personal life, misunderstanding of spiritual life, thinking one thing for the other. So this is much, knowledge clears the road, does not allow you to be emotionally carried on and think that you have highest experience and you be satisfied in that. No, there will be transformation will happen. That how you are absorbing the truth is the question. So knowledge is good, but intellectualism cannot lead us to the experience. So that was so one should use it, one then attains direct experience. Nihite gure means both knowledge and ignorance rest in Brahman. Not Satan and God. But it is in God's two form, dark and right. It is both in that Brahman idea. Manifest dark side or right side, light side. They are hidden. That is to say, they are innate in Brahman. Brahman is the source of knowledge as well as ignorance. The Christian theology, there are two concepts. One is God, who is kind and benevolent, who is the source of all good. The other concept is Satan, who is evil and malevolent. But according to Vedanta, the ultimate reality is one. And good and evil, knowledge and ignorance, all come from that one. There is no other ghost to create a negative thing. It is only same source, and obverse and reverse of the same coin. Some people may object, is Brahman then the source of evil? Vedanta says that from the relative plane, Brahman is the source of evil because everything comes from Brahman. Yes, that way, if you see, then not only evil, but also good. There is nothing that has not come out of Brahman. Oh yeah, I give the example, suppose this artist paints and so many types. Actually, it's for all his fun. No? Artist enjoys by painting. No? It may be a divine image, it may be frightening image, it may be very disastrous view there, but it is for everything is created by the same person for joy. So Ishvara or God, Brahma, creates this, but that power is Brahma, or that power of creation is inside the Brahman itself. Then again someone say, we see duality everywhere. If Brahman is non-dual, where did this duality come from? Vedanta says that it has come from Maya, but this Maya is also part of Brahman. Maya is not independent reality. Satan is not independent, according to Vedanta. It is all Brahman in the Maya state. You call this. Akṣare means Brahman never decays. It is imperishable and not subject to any modification. Everything in this relative world changes and is subject to the condition in which it is placed. But Brahman is unchanging and unchangeable. Brahma para, that is, Brahman is the higher than Brahma. Brahman is unmanifested, but Brahma is the first manifestation of Brahman. It is also called Hiranyagarbha and Saguna Brahman, or Brahman with attributes. You can talk three ways. Hiranyagarbha, you can say God in the what you call Judeo-Christian idea, this idea of God, it is the God. Brahma is equal to God, God capital, and the first manifestation of Brahman, it is called the Saguna Brahman. You can call it Hiranyagarbha or Brahman with attributes. Brahman without attribute is Nirguna Brahma. Avidya or ignorance is said to be ksharam, meaning decaying. Everything in this world decays because it has come from avidya, cosmic ignorance. This whole world process is going on because of ignorance. So it is said to be the cause of the world and the cause of birth and death. So, avidya, everything has come out of avidya, no? We go to deep sleep. When you go to dream, it is our mind is creating all these things. Why it is happening? Because you are in ignorance. Now you are not, I'm in knowledgeable situation. I don't see the dream here now. But this same person going to dream, he creates the whole dream world in his own. So that's why amritam tu vidya, but knowledge is cause of immortality. Knowledge helps you to go forward. If you are ignorant, you cannot make any progress. But secular knowledge and spiritual knowledge are important, both. But secular knowledge will not give you liberation. You must have spiritual knowledge for that. Spiritual knowledge is called amritam because it takes you beyond life and death. It gives you liberation. Who controls the knowledge and ignorance then? Sa ishte vidya vidde. Ishate vidya vidde. He, Brahman, controls both knowledge and ignorance. He is the Lord of everything and he controls everything. You may ask, how is Brahman is controlling? Brahman, how can it control me? I feel I have free will. I cannot see Brahman is interfering with what I do. Brahman does not come in my life when I shall go to eat, when I shall go to sleep. He is not interfering with me anything. So how can I say, if you want to speak, I can speak. If I want to stop speaking, I can stop. Vedanta says that even when you are speaking because of Brahman. Not the mouth are talking, not the lips are talking, but it is the śocati manasu manojat vachoho vācam tadu That he is the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the nose of the nose. That means he is the essence of our all relative senses. Vedanta says that even when you are speaking because of Brahman. Brahman gives you the power to speak, also the power to stop speaking. You think that you are stopping by your will, but it is not. It is also the power of stopping and power of speaking. Both are coming from him. That's why Ramakrishna said, nothing happens in the world. No? Even the leaf does not move without the will of God. He is the source of everything, but at the same time he does not act. This is a contradictory term. He does everything, but he does not do anything. Gita also says that. Karmani akarmaja pasyet akarmani cha karmaja. In karma, in action, one who sees no action. And in inaction, there is action. He does not do anything, but he does everything. And everything is done, he does not do anything. That means it is beyond our mind to understand and comprehend. It is beyond that. That is the idea. He does not do anything. He is the witness, sakshi, because he is there, everything is functioning. You may say, how? You see the sun is there. Is the sun telling you this morning, hey, get up, go to your office, take a shower, you have breakfast? Is sun telling us anything? But is he not the same sun controlling us from morning till now? Click, 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 click going on. We do not know. Position of the sun is, sun is setting. We'll have to do this. Sun is rising. We'll have to get up and come to the temple. Who is telling you? Sun. Is he saying anything? Its presence itself is making us all work. The whole world is functioning because of the sun. So similarly, the eternal sun, he is there. Because of him, everything is functioning. You do not work, you do your work, the sun does its work, the entire universe is working, moving all within this Brahma chakra. Brahman has set this wheel in motion and he is only watching. He is the witness, unaffected and uninvolved. He is the untouched by the good and evil within it. But if he is not there, nothing happens. On another level, however Brahman is functioning, he is the function through his maya. He is working through you and I, the sun and the entire universe. That is Brahman who is manifested. It is Saguna Brahman. Similarly, at one level I am working and involved in this world as the individual self, but on another level I am the witness, the cosmic self, I am uninvolved. So we can look at personally also. In one sense I am involved, in another sense I am the witness. This body-mind is functioning, I am not functioning. So these are the two ideas can be taken from this verse. Okay? So we end here, verse number 1. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Panamastu. So we'll be having gospel class. I am there, no, tomorrow? My class? Tomorrow? So we'll be reading gospel tomorrow. So if you have any question?
Ishvara is higher than Hiranyagarbha. So wouldn't Ishvara be the first manifestation of Brahman?
You know, Hiranyagarbha, 3 states of our existence is called Jagrat, Swapna, Susupti. Waking state, dream state, sleep state. When I am in the waking state, it is called Jagrat, it is called viśve. And God, in the cosmic level, when he is awake in the material level, it is called Virata. Now you go to dream. I go to dream, My individual name will be Tejas, Tejas, light. And then cosmic level it is called Hiranyagarbha. So, and then one step up, I go to deep sleep. Only ego remains of bhakta, no? That is called Vishwa Tejasa Pragya. Pragya means I am almost ignorant. Prayena agga. Pragya has two meanings. He is a very intelligent man, that's also Pragya. And Pragya means Prayena agga. I am just like a fool, idiot. I have no idea who am I. If someone kicks me, I do not know. Someone praises me, coming to I am sleeping, I don't hear anything. So I am almost ignorant. So this is the individual. And the cosmic level they call Ishvara. So these are the three. And they come, all this happening, they call, it is God here. But here Hiranyagarbha is considered almost God level, not though there is a intermediate level of difference. Okay, another question. When a devotee like a child wearies of playing with the toy of intellect and begins to cry at the futility of it, is this when Divine Mother will pick us up to help and give us her grace? Of course. Yes, or we have to exhaust our intellectual ability and then try and say and fail. Then, oh Lord, please help me. My intellect is no more working. Ramakrishna said, I offer my jnana and ajnana. I give you everything. Give me shuddha bhakti, pure love. Give me pure love. And that comes ultimately. That's also the result of our focused meditation, prayer and spiritual life. That comes. Anyhow, spiritual life is in one sense very simple, another sense it is very complicated. Very simple, God is only there. What we are seeing is a misinterpretation of my mind. My mind does not read it well. Your eyeglass is distorted. So you see figures, distorted figure. Change the eyeglass. Change the eyeglass. How do you go to change the eyeglass? You go to doctor. You go to guru. And then test your case condition. And then what they do? They say, prescribe some medicine. Or I put this eye drop, do that. So prescription is there. And also says, okay, get a new eyeglass, go. So you go with that formula, you go to the, the ophthalmologist, and then they do the process, and then you say, I see so much. No? So outside world was there, your eyes were also there. Only there is some problem. Cataract operation. Now we old people almost all are getting so much. I got both operated. So as soon as I cannot see, visibility is bad, this, that. And you say, wow, what a new world. New world was there. Eyes were also to see. Only there is one covering. So we have to work on that, to remove that covering. And prayer, that's why Vedanta is the best way, Ramakrishna Vedanta. Use all your forces to reach that goal. That's the one point. Don't depend on one. Because we are not capable of focused practice, so we are not that much advanced student. I am a bhakta, I only practice bhakti. No, we are not. We are not a yogi. You cannot meditate more than 1 hour. And 1 hour meditation, we meditate on all our problems. So meditation is gone. Then what is the way of reaching God then? So therefore, take advantage of all the 4 tools what Swamiji Vivekananda emphasized for us. Jnana, karma, yoga, bhakti. All these 4 aspects. Every day try and say, I tried, so I cannot do anything. Please help me. What is the wrong in telling that? You tried your best. From morning you tried to do japa, do the karma yoga, whatever you do your best. But why not tell, I am trying but I cannot. I forgot it. I am not getting to the point I want to go. Please help me. So this is bhakti. Karma becomes karma yoga. So apply all these tools. But knowledge is also very good. It gives at least some good guidance. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.